just change the names up to failed reset. So like like here, see how big it is and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that's all it is, just a failed reset or a reset that was trying to happen, but it didn't happen. You know,
Hmm.
and actually it would be like up here, so this would be uh, the failed reset. You know, because it didn't go. It wouldn't give you three times ADR there. So I think that something that you're gonna hear me talk about when when I get through all the new videos for the new courses, when it comes to like the levels and stuff like that, like honestly, I do pay way more attention to finding peak formation highs and peak formation lows rather than having to worry about levels. And so if you think about it like this, um, where's this thing? If you're looking, if this is what we're looking for, right? Here's your peak. Here's your peak. Your one, your your level one, your two, and your three slash or peak formation. Um, if you can just find this and this, you pretty much have a directional bias for at least 2 or 3 days. You know, because you're going strictly off of the ADR by itself. So if this is pound AUD, what's pound AUD's ADR right now? Like 125 or something, or 114? Let's just say it's 125. So that means that from here to here, you want to go somewhere in the neighborhood of 375, 375 pips before you should see a reversal. You know. So if you can just first identify your peak formation high or peak formation low, whatever's closer, and see how many pips have you gone from that. You
I
know.
guess the levels that really throw you, like GBP USD, looks like a shit show. No offense,
Yeah.
but
Well, that's
you
the
know that
reason.
one looks horrible.
Yeah. Here's the reason I'm saying this, man, is because what you've noticed is that's happened is that sometimes they go they'll do some crazy shit like you know I don't know, like maybe 200 pips in one day. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that kind of throws off everything. And so I think that I found way more recent success with just worrying about, can I just find where I'm at as far as peak formations go? You know
Yeah,
what I
and some
mean?
of mine I was putting when I had a peak formation, I put here's three times ADR and put that little line with like here's the target,
Yeah.
three times ADR target, just so I kind of mentally see where it's going.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if you look at this, if you look um, at these charts, you'll start to notice that the resets, right, are typically ones that bounce off of the 200. You see that?
Hmm. Yeah.
So they go up, and then you'll see a structure form, and then it'll bounce off the 200. Some have bounced off of the 800 as well. So like this one here, you can see it went down. It pinned basically by the 800. You know.
Oh.
So those are all things to take into consideration. But we're gonna have a lot. I'm gonna go through all that stuff on the new videos. Um,
I've been going back through these group sessions because I'm like, this stuff's gold. It's just
Yeah, it's
cool.
a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of information. I mean, so it's definitely a lot of good information here. So that's why there's a what library of what two what is it 2 years now worth of.
Yeah,
It's like freaking up to I think like 80 hours now
there's a lot of
of,
videos in there.
of
It's awesome.
videos. So I mean, you know, but yeah. So start really more focusing in on uh, how many pips from the recent low has it gone. So like if you look at pound USD right now, right, you can see that it's been basically bouncing off of this level here,
Yeah.
right? There's a structure here for what is that since June 20th, and then if you go back, start going back, look how far back you can go to from March. You know, it's been bouncing off rejection, 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 rejection. So the question becomes, okay, what is it going to do when it gets here again? You know, what is it going to do when it gets here? Now that it's here, is it going to just move sideways like this, get rejected again? If it does,
Odds
if
are
it does
good.
do that, then you're just looking at another failed reset and another peak formation low.
Odds
You
are
know,
pretty decent. It could happen.
so that's it. I mean, you have this is also at the bottom too. Look at that. So they're all at the bottom also. So yeah, that's it. Every like I would say like every week, like every Monday, right? You should be able to add peak formation high or low or whatever. You should be able to make some adjustments to them. So as soon as I think that what I've been finding a lot is when you get when you come off of a peak formation low and you're going up and you pin bar the 200 EMA here, right? And then you get a new crossover of that 13 and 50 on a 1 hour time frame. You got a pretty good shot at possibly it coming all the way down for a possible reset. You know, but the biggest clue obviously is when it breaks the structure here. That's when you know for sure it's not gonna just come back up. You know.
I'm looking forward to you going over market structure and how you use that for confluence or whatever.
So it's
How to
just
use it.
like when you have the EMAs in your favor here, you'll be able to use the 200 here. This one here on this failed reset, you can't use the EMAs obviously because the EMAs are above you, and the reset would be happening here, going up, but it didn't. It failed again, and then it dropped 3 times ADR. So I think this is what close to 300. That's nowhere near. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Because if this continues to drop, by the way, if this drops here, then you could actually get, this wouldn't be a reset, it would be a 3 times ADR scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So the only reason I'm putting this right now is because you had a crossover
Recording in progress.
of the, you had a crossover of the 13 and 50 on the 1 hour. But same thing here. You didn't go 3 times ADR here. You went back up. So this could be a reset or a failed reset. Just have to see what happens literally this week, whether it goes above it or not. Because this right here is 300 pips. I mean, that's nowhere near 300 pips. It's only 219. So you still would have room to go up some more. So 300 would be, somewhere up here in the 150, consequently enough, on a psychological number, 150. So, and 150, if you look, 150 is where all this structure is, right here. If you literally put it on the 150, is right there. You go up a time frame. Yeah, let's just get rid of all that. Let's hide that. You go up a time frame to the 4 hour, and you're looking at that right there. So if this is going to be a reset here, if this is going to be a real reset, you're looking at price getting up here and then coming back down. If it doesn't do that, it's another failed reset, right? Right there. And then you're looking at that coming back down again. This is already up here again on the 1 hour time frame, or this is actually a 4 hour time frame. So if you imagine this is already if you look how the two guys looking at this right here is the first leg, and then this is the second leg. You already have divergence starting to come up. So if there's any hesitation here, right, you already have divergence to help you confirm that it's very likely going to continue to come down. So you might get something like this on the green. The green line might do something like this, and then the blue line might be like that. The red line might be something like that. But you just gotta wait. Let them show you what they're doing. All right. Which one did we do last week? We did pound and ZD last week or something?
Can't remember yesterday for last week, but thanks for explaining that, Mark.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, we did pound AUD, and I think we did NZD too.
NZD, yeah. Okay, so let's do. Have we done pound CAD in a while or no? Right, we haven't done even Euro USD. We haven't done that one in a while. So somebody pick a pair that we haven't done in a while.
Why don't you try US 30?
What's that?
Why don't you try Wall Street, US 30?
You said US 30?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's try US 30.
It's a bit different, isn't it? It's currencies. That's one of my favorite markets. Which is
Yeah.
very profitable over there.
All right. Well, let's try that one then. Who knows what we'll find on this one?
No, it's still got the. You can use the FXN strategy on it. It still has the patterns. It's still the same cycles. It's still similar to the currency.
let's since that's the first of the year, let's do this. Let's play out this whole week real quick. Where's the thing at? Let's play this week out real quick because I already advanced it too far anyways. Is this a pair that you trade at all or what?
Yeah, I'll trade US 30 and gold mainly. Yeah, US 30 is probably one of my favorite markets I use all the time.
Got it.
Just you need to watch out with the pip range though, because obviously it's not different to the currencies. So
Alright, well, let's see what we got from this. Alright, so looks like previous we had a trending cycle. I mean, I don't even know what the ADR on this is. 2, 1, that's some big fucking moves. 3, 4, 5. Would you say like 600?
start 350.
That's, I mean, that's 3, close to 2. That's a lot, bro. That's a lot. It's kind of looking blind though. Okay, well, that could be a type 3 setup there, possibly. I think the hard thing for me to figure out is if I don't know what the average ADR is on this, to see what, you know, what is it that I'm, how much is it that I'm trying to configure this to.
I know it moves a lot. I thought it was between 550 and 6 like a month or two ago when I was looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the previous week or so, it looks like about, yeah, 600 or so on average. It's close to 2, 5 something. Yeah, so. So would this be a setup at all, or is this too early? What do you have going for it?
Yeah, I think it's a bit too early at the moment. I'll just play it out at the moment.
Nathan, I can barely hear you, man.
Can you hear me now?
No, it's just very low. But if... Alright, so let me check something out real quick. If this thing's been moving up, 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 what is... $13... Is that 1377? So if it's, you said Adam, it was like 500.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be about 450 if you did, because it's 1380 basically pip wise.
Yeah, so
So it's like 450 when I do it. 1380.
yeah, about 450, 460. I'm just trying to think about if that's kind of like the normal there. So that's like 13 something. Like, look at that shit. God damn. That's crazy. We can't really use that like that.
We back tested this a while ago, and it was interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place. All right. Well, I mean, listen. For this to be a Type 3, it's got a railroad track. I'm gonna assume that this is likely a peak formation. Let me see. Yeah, so this just crossed over literally on that candle there. So the question is, how far do you take this to? That's 2 to 1 there. Maybe to that same low over here. But I just don't know if that's worth the risk or not, unless you get a pullback. Let me see if that next candle, no, next candle doesn't give you a pullback, so. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth the risk or not. We got a deeper pullback there on that candle.
Hey, does this not trade well in London? Because I think I remember something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's US 30, so I'm going to assume the best trading is going to be in the US session.
Yeah, see, I would have an issue with that.
Yeah.
I hate New York, so I'm a London trader. So, yep.
Yeah, you just had a star pattern there. It's probably going to go up now.
Can you hear me more clearly now?
Yeah, that's way better.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, what do you know about this pair as far as like, you know, average daily ranges and stuff like that? I mean, if you're trading this pair, it seems very risky.
Well, sorry, just quick just take. Well, it's similar to gold, to be honest. The reason why I like Wall Street 30 is because it helps you build your account a lot faster than the currencies does.
Sure. You could
So
blow
it's
up
similar
faster
to gold.
too.
Yeah, it all comes down to is a lot of back testing, front testing, and it's being patient, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, averagely you have to risk about 60 to 70 pips, normal. That's a normal kind of trade kind of thing,
Okay.
but that's the only issue.
So you're saying that this is off by 1 decimal then? When it's counting pips? So when it
What do you mean by
says,
that?
and so is this correct as far as the pip goes on the pip counter on this?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's correct. Okay. I mean, I was thinking that's probably like a rejection candle there on that one.
Yeah,
Do you
let's
trade
see,
this
let's
on London or US session?
Obviously the trades are a lot better on the US session But
Okay.
yeah, London you can get a couple of trades. Like I say, it's always about patience, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. Greasy, first you blew your first account on US 30. That high doesn't want to get taken out. That's pretty interesting there. What is the 80 pips? That's 60. So every trade you take on this, Nathan, do you risk 60 pips?
Yeah, so normally with Wall Street, I don't do execution trades. I normally do limit orders.
Yeah. Okay.
They just let it come to me instead of me chasing the money.
Yeah.
Because like with the Wall Street US 30, it's really manipulated. So
You don't say. So why don't we do this then? Why don't we just skip to the US session? Because I mean, if nothing happens in London that's going to be tradable, then. Alright, so here's the US session. That right there's probably your stop hunt.
entry.
Yeah, this would be your entry somewhere here. But I mean, this is gonna be pretty big also though. 52 pips to what would that be? You'd have to go somewhere all the way up here. So risking like what, 56 for 128, 130 almost, basically, to get close to a 2 to 1.
Mark, what year is this?
2021.
2021. Okay.
2021. So, alright, so I mean, eventually it made it all the way up there, but initially it pushed up about 110. So very close to 2 to 1. On that one, this is what? This Thursday coming up?
Look, looks like it's trending at the moment.
Yeah, it's probably like what, news? No, it's 9:30 opening
Yeah.
of the market. Yeah, man, that thing's pretty crazy.
Try a different pair. because obviously I caught you off guard here. So
Well, I mean, I
try
don't trade
my
this
pen.
pair, so I don't really know too much about it, you
Yeah,
know. And it seems like you want to trade it in the U.S. session, but I mean, it doesn't really. If I'm trying to follow the rules that I have in place, like you may not get, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
A lot of trade setups for this one. What does this one do in U.S. session on Friday? I mean, the only thing you would have had here was a type 3 from London pinning to the 50, pinning to the 50 here as well. Yeah, that's really it. Yeah, that 9:30 candle man's fucking crazy.
Yeah, see, that's why I'll put like a limit order right there on that 50, and you can see it's reversing now, trending down.
Yeah, I mean, you have to definitely backtest this one because I don't even know. Yeah, I wouldn't know too much about this one
Yeah.
to give you any good information at least on it. You could probably give me more information on this than I could, honestly.
Well, it's a lot easier with if you go back to 2019. It's a lot easier with the patterns. Obviously, 2021, where everything's starting to lift up now, and they're trying to ease the COVID-19. It's just a bit just
Yeah.
manipulated at the moment. Just a bit like gold actually at the moment. It's just a bit manipulated. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. It's just trying to collect contracts. That's what, you know what I mean.
Mark, what's your favorite pair?
Right now, I've been doing more of the NZD pairs. So, pound NZD, pound AUD, Euro NZD. Those have been my favorite pairs so far. The last like maybe 2 months.
What made you change from where you were before to those?
I started trading strictly mostly US session, right? Um, so just so happens that the trade setups that I was taking for the pairs were mostly pound NZD, pound AUD, Euro NZD, Euro AUD on US session. They were just the ones that were producing trades. There have been some like, you know, one Euro JPY or Euro CAD. I mean, I'm open to any of these, right? It's just the question that I have for myself every morning that I would wake up is like, okay, what's the best possible, you know, setup? You know, can I get a setup today, yes or no? And is the setup there, is it a continuation trade or is it a reversal? That's it. It's really just those two setups, man. That's it. I made a point of just not having to worry too much about, you know, forcing myself to trade when I don't have to, you know. So like the setups have to be there. If they're not, then I don't worry about it. I just don't trade that day. I think the biggest advantage that you'll have is if you can build up an account and leave the money compounding there for an extended period of time, you'll be able to have other things produce money for you. So you'll start taking money out of, you know, your trading account and start putting it towards other things that make you or bring you money, basically, you know, whether that be buying real estate or buying crypto or whatever, you know what I mean? So think of trading as like your own personal like funding bank or whatever, where it's funding other things that you want, that would basically pay you money, you know?
That's smart.
But I mean, if you think about it, after after the USD CAD trade, like I don't need to trade for, if I don't want to, for like another 8 months if I really don't want to. So it just allows you to be like stupid picky about anything, you know? So there's just no pressure on you to trade. Some of you can start taking like some of your money, you know, from trading, some of your profits from trading, and start putting it into, you know, Roth IRAs, or start investing it into different, you know, ETFs and stuff like that, dividend companies and stuff, you know, that pay you every year or every every quarter or whatever, pay you dividends and stuff. I think now that you have access to like prop firms and stuff that'll give you money to trade with, I mean it's a hell of a lot more faster now to grow an account, way better. You know, you guys have like a way bigger and better advantage now, because there's so many prop firms now that'll give you money if you know how to trade. So growing an account now for yourself, or growing the money now, is stupid faster now and a lot easier than before, because before you had to put in your own money, you know. And so if you weren't already well off, you know, you needed to build that, and it took freaking time to build it, man. It took years. You know, it did not happen overnight. It literally took years to build it. But I mean, once you have it, man, it's the pressure, the not having to trade is a ridiculously good feeling to have, you know. So all right, would this one be, let me see, this one's coming off of a trending cycle. What's the let's see what this does here. There is, about to say, if that would have stopped. Well, let's see. Interesting. So check this out. So it went all the way down to here. Is that last week's low? Right? It is. So it went down to last week's low. So that right there could be your area of support there. So question becomes, I was just about to say, this could be a situation here where you'd have a reversal trade set up here. Because now you're pinning to that area now. Let's see. Nope. So here you can see what's happening, right? You can see what's happening, right?
Yes, I can see it.
So this is reading, if we read this as a first leg, this would be a second leg here. You would need to have, if you want to get in like stupid early, right, you need to have like buy limit orders down here on this area. If you don't, then you're trying to see if it'll come back or not, but yeah, so that's one big ass candle there. But then you get a pullback. So this candle by itself is 35. But you get a pullback. Let me see if that pullback would make sense or not. That's still fucking big. You would need to do something like that for that to even make sense. Basically back up to the high of Asia here, because even taking it to the 200 is not 2 to 1. The only other thing you could do is, if you really think that this was the low here, you could do something like that where you can go in on the pullback and then have the stop loss at 15 pips, and then that would get you to where you can just get to the 200, and that'll give you 4 to 1 risk to reward ratio. But what you could do also is, let's just say that they decide to come back again, right, to come back down again here. Let's just say they take you out. You could also put a buy limit down here, right? Because if you put it down here, what's your stop loss? Like 5 pips or something like that? You know? So if they come back, take you out, you already have a buy limit here, and that way you're only 5 pips there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I mean, this is already this is right here is higher than this one, while this is even, so that's divergence right there anyways. I'm going to assume, yeah. What's
Possibly
the
could be another
real...
pullback on that 50.
Say that again?
So there possibly could be another pullback on their 50, as you were saying.
Right, well that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to, you could put a buy limit there. So it's 96. So it's 96 is what the ADR is on this. At least now it is. I don't know what it was back then, but it was probably higher back then. But what I was trying to do, though, I was trying to measure to see how big it was from here, you know, from here to here, obviously. So 460. So I mean that has to be somewhere close to 3 times ADR, if not over. You know, I'm gonna assume that that's the case. You know, but I know that this at this time, if you look at the ranges here, you know, 100, 150, like 200 pips, you know, constantly. Look at this, 217 pips on that one,
Jesus.
98, 31, 51, 122. So, I mean, you know, let's just say an average of, I don't know, maybe 150, 170 or so. So, I mean, that would be like 510, you know, when you get to 3 times ADR. So, what I'm thinking is this right here might be a cycle. This right here might be another one. And then obviously that would be another one too. You gotta see though. But anyways, the pattern is here. You take it to the 200 and see if you get it or not. So I mean, it ended up getting 91 out of that. So 91 pips out of that. Pretty good move there. Pretty good move there.
That was the Monday session as well.
What's that?
I said that was the Monday as well.
That was a Monday, yes. Yes, that was Monday. So, alright, so now let's see if we get a move to go higher, or what does it do? So this right here was a multi-session trade out of the edge then. I think for me, the thing that would have stopped me from taking that trade, that would have been these EMAs and then it pinning to the middle of the range. So, although, I didn't even look at the TDI, but you did have some divergence here on the TDI. Oh, buddy, you already know what's going to happen here. So I'm already looking for a continuation trade. Because I'm nowhere near the top, nowhere near the bottom. I'm in the middle here at the beginning of the US session. So let me ask you, if you're looking for a continuation trade, what would be the best setup? What would be the ideal entry for a continuation trade?
Take out those buy stops in London, pin it, get on a smaller time frame and take it.
Yeah, so your entry is going to be somewhere where? Up here?
Depending on price action. If I see it pin into that what I would say an order block, but if it's pinning into the, if it breaks those highs or at least goes into the highs
Yeah.
in London, those
Yeah.
short-term high, not the high, but the lower high in London.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that this right here is, let me block this off here. This right here is what I would be looking at. And basically from the top of this wick to the top of these wicks here, and then obviously that body there. So if I can get, let's say I'd put like a sell limit, essentially, anywhere, you know, near in this area here. If it comes all the way up here, it'd be freaking ridiculous. I don't think it'd come up here for a continuation trade though, but you'd want somewhere in this box here.
And a lot of times they like to go between 10 to 15 pips above the double zeros, just depending on where the stops are.
Right, yeah, yeah. So I mean, if you look at where's 32, 732 is right here, 131 is literally right here, and then 130 is here. You know, so you have this basically that there. Anywhere in there, you can put a sell limit. So if you're greedy, then that's where you want to put it. There you go.
Bang, just like that.
There you go. See, it just went back to these highs here. Highs, highs.
Looks
No.
like was that a type 2?
Kind of, yeah, actually, because it went back to the highs here.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, at the very beginning of the U.S. session here, because it was here, right, and it made a major move down and it retraced, I was looking for a continuation.
Oh yeah, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks like a accumulation cycle at the moment.
Yeah, right,
So-
right. So I mean, that would have been like stupid tight. Like anywhere around here would have been. I mean, an easy 60 at least. A 4-to-1 trade. And see, look, went right back down to the previous week's low, right down to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, if you can catch that behavior early enough, I mean, you could literally like make money all day just up and down. I mean, if you just know strategically where the stops are.
Right. That's what Eric does, man. On pound, what is it? Pound AUDs. He does that shit all day. I was gonna say, here's first leg pin to the 200, I mean, these could be little legs, but there's your pin right there. That's a good pin right there. That's a pretty big pin too. That's like a 25 pip. Yeah. So where did that go? It went down 28 pips. 28 pips in like 3 candles. It's not too bad. There's another one. Another pin. Another pin. Another pin. Another pin. There it is. So this right here would be another pin. 1, 2, 3. How many freaking pins do you count here? A shitload.
What's that? About 8.
A crap load. Literally a crap load. So I mean, you'd want to pull back though for sure. To even, you want to pull back at least half that candle. Somewhere up here. I mean, that's another 65 right there. If you're to get a pullback on it. Yeah, you got a pullback on it. Damn near 100 pip drop. 100 pip drop. You see how it came all the way back again? Just keep on coming around.
It starts after all the back testing. It starts to get very predictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. But I think something that is different though, if you look, like, you notice how price action is now. So ever since Tuesday, it's been respecting the 50 and the 200. You know, 50, 200, 50, 200, comes back 50, 200, 50. You know what I mean?
Like trending.
So I think for me, the likelihood is this to keep dropping, and this to keep acting as a rolling resistance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if it was just going sideways, right, it would go back. It wouldn't have problems going back up to the top here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm. It looks like actually a level right now. Think about it. You know what I mean? You see that?
Yeah, I mean, it's moving sideways. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, this kind of behavior, at least for me, is primed to get, you know, a setup where it bounces off of this or bounces off of this, you know, to keep going down.
Yeah.
So if that behavior presents itself, that's a trade all day long. So like the the type 3 trader in me, right, is like already like having a sell limit here and a sell limit here. You know what I mean? to like bounce off of the EMA. Because
it's ready.
It's just like ready, because that's what I want to do. I want to bounce it off of 50 or something. Especially when it comes down early like that. Look at that. There we go. There's one right there. If you can get a pullback as another trade. I think.
What's that candle size?
What's the what?
Candle size on a red candle. Okay.
19.
Yeah.
19 pips. So if you do half, somewhere around half of that candle, if you were to get a pullback on it, you can do something like this. Aim for 45 on a 2-to-1, and really you're just asking price to go back to the same lows that it was just at.
Yeah,
You know
definitely.
what I mean? So you're not asking for like a lot.
Mhm.
But for that to happen, you just want to pull back. Or else it's just not going to work. It's just too much risk at that point.
Yeah.
Well, there's one. There's the second one right there. And there you go.
You're too good at trading, Mark. You're too good.
It's not good, man. It's just fucking doing this shit too much.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, I was talking to Raj about this today, is if you think about over the last 2 years, right, that I've been doing classes, right?
Yep.
I calculated the amount of examples. So the amount of examples that I've seen of type 1s, type 2s, type 3s, New York reversals, and New York continuation trades, right?
Yep.
So based on all the classes that I've done in the last 2 years and all of the homework that I've graded, I've seen and reviewed individually over 50,000 examples.
Jesus Christ.
Think about it. Over 50,000 examples. How good do you think you would be if you had 50,000 examples to review?
Jesus, man. I'll be a master.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as much as the classes take time from me, it's actually allowed me to just, train my brain on examples based on examples
exactly.
that you guys turn in for homework. So if that's just like type 1, 2, 3 examples, right? If you look at weekly cycles, it was about 10,000 weekly cycles that I've looked at and individually given feedback on. The same thing for levels is about 10,000 also. So that's why.
More work.
You know what I mean? So that's why.
Nah, definitely.
It's just the exposure over and over and over again. That's literally all that it is. All right, so Friday, this broke out of that structure, obviously, so mean, this has right here actually. I was about to say this has some potential TDs all the way at the bottom here. It just doesn't give
Yeah.
you a clear, what you call it, a clear first or second leg. It's almost just like 4 candles in a row, basically.
Yeah.
But I mean, unless you get a pullback, I don't think it would matter anyways, because that's like 25. So if you were to get a half pullback here, and then you could take it to what, the top, ideally the 200, but somewhere around here just to get 2 to 1.
What about what was it? Monday's low?
I mean, Monday's lows all the way the fuck up here.
Yeah, back on that line. It could be a possibility.
Like all the way up here, you mean?
Yeah.
Like
So
coming
normally-
all the way back?
Yeah.
I don't think it'd move that much.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking more of you know, just 2 to 1 get 30, right? Which is like really in the middle of the range. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Don't go against the trend.
But I
at the
mean,
moment.
if it gives you this, then that's fine. The bigger trend, by the way, is to sell. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that's the bigger picture trend, because you broke this structure here already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all the EMAs are pointing down, so you're selling. So if you get a trade setup to sell, you're gonna sell that trade setup. This would be a short-lived trade, because you're trading against, you know, the overall trend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the setup is there. You need a pullback to get it in anyways. You know, but if you get a setup in the U.S. session to sell, then you're gonna sell.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, to even, like I said, even to get in this, you need a pullback though. If you don't get a pullback, then you just don't get in it, and it's what it is, whatever. So I mean, you get a pullback. I don't know if that would have hit or not, but so what does this look like?
Continuation, innit?
Well, no, I'm not talking about continuation. I'm still looking for sells, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying if you're looking at this, what does it look like? I guess if you've gone through the advanced course, what does it look like?
Alphabet.
A what?
Alphabet.
Yeah, there you go. You see how it's just got a railroad track, and then it's 1, 2, 3. So basically, like almost like a quarter wood here. It's just moving sideways. You see that? So what this should do, if this is what that is you should get, basically it's a little square, right? And it'll basically do essentially this. It'll give you this, and then it'll move sideways, 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 and then it'll dump. So if that's what it is, you would basically put like a sell limit here, anywhere up here. That would be the best place to get in. You could still do like let's say like a sell stop down here, but that means that you'd have to put your stop loss up here. So would you rather, you know, put in a sell limit where your sell limit is here and your stop loss is here, or a sell stop and then your stop loss is up here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely a sell limit.
So I think the only I think the biggest problem that I see with those patterns like that is that you don't know how many of these you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Before it actually drops. You could get 4, you could get 18. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. But typically, if you start to see that, it should drop.
Mark, what if it touches the 200 again? You get taken out.
If it touches the 200, then I mean you get taken out. Then it wasn't a bad pattern.
And then you just re-enter back up there.
You can if you want to. You can re-enter here if you want to. But I mean, if it's gonna go all the way back up to the 200, I mean, you want to be prepared for that. You know. But I mean, this kind of I don't know. I think if it was going to come back up here, like it wouldn't have like this behavior like that. You know what I'm saying? It would have more of that coming down, and then start to come back up like this. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wouldn't go sideways. Basically, it would have these two candles here like this. And then it would have one, you know, this blue one, and then just slowly start to come back up. And that's how you know you're getting a second leg. You know, that's like down here. That's why I was like, I don't know. It almost looks like a one leg because it really didn't have a pronounced second leg. You know what I mean? You really didn't have a pronounced second leg here. But yeah, so maybe that one there. It just depends on where you put it, but it really just depends on where you put the order at. But I mean, this one was, yeah, it's 23. It would have been like a 23 pip stop loss or something on there. So, but I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck, you got 5 trades that week. That's not bad, right?
That's really, really good.
5 trades for. That's not bad. I mean, that's conservatively, let's say 60, another 60, another 60, 40, and 40. I mean, I don't know about you. I wouldn't be complaining too much about that kind of a week.
All depends on the stake.
That's just one pair. I mean, I don't care if I'm trading. I don't care if I'm trading 0.01, bro. If I'm trading 0.01, I have that kind of week. Like, what am I gonna be mad about?
Yeah.
The only thing I'd be mad about is me not having enough money so I can actually trade more, or use a bigger lot size. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That'd be the only thing that I'd be mad about, really. But other than that, I mean, it is what it is. So,
Pound NZD was doing that for about, at least in my opinion, that pair has been doing that for me for the past month and a half. Just literally just giving out trades every day.
yeah.
I mean, big trades too, if you know like how to ride the range.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can look at it, man. It's been doing some badass shit. Love it. Absolutely love it. Cool. Any questions?
Thank you,
Oh,
Mark.
that was a really good session.
Cool. All right, well, you guys have a good one, and we'll see you Tuesday.
I'll
Thanks,
catch you
Mark.
Tuesday.
Have a good night.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mac.
You're welcome.
Later, mate. Bye.
Good night.